Welcome to The Subject is Moot, where everything we discuss is debatable. I am Dom, and across from me is...
Mike.
And a special thanks to Vinny and Quiz, the producers of the podcast. We want to hear from you, so write in your opinion, comments, or topics you want us to talk about to thesubjectismoot@yahoo.com, and we will bring them up during future shows. You could also follow us on Twitter at TSIM_podcast, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. In the search bar, just type in Dom Mike or The Subject is Moot, and you will find us. Behind the mics for episode 26.
Almost as many championships as the Yankees have.
Just one shy.
Yep.
When do you think they'll get their 28th?
Hopefully this year, but realistically.
Pitches and catches report. Less than a month.
No, we're in the middle of hockey season, bro. I'm not worried about baseball right now.
About 6 weeks?
Probably. Who cares? Hockey season.
Hockey is the only sport that should be.
Careful. You have a lot of football fanatics out there right now who are really, really enjoying the playoffs.
This is now the third time, our third show in a row that we use the word fanatics.
True.
Speaking of shows.
Show of shows.
This show is brought to you by Sweetwater. Sweetwater.com has been providing music, instruments, and pro audio since 1979.
Wow.
They have excellent products, pricing, and customer service. They also offer interest-free financing, free shipping to the lower 48 states, and an exclusive free 2-year warranty, which comes with almost every product they offer.
And free candy.
Free candy, and well, really not free. You're paying for it, but
true.
It's free. You didn't pay extra for it. They are located in the United States. It is extra, and it's sweet. They are located in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Call 800-222-4700 for sales assistance, technical questions, or advice. You can also check out sweetwater.com for any of their toys.
Plenty of toys.
I go on that site almost every night. I can't tell you how many times I go on that site. I want to buy something every day, but I don't.
There's a charvel on that pre-order that I love, man. God, it's so sweet. From Sweetwater.
A charvel?
Yeah, 20. It's on pre-order right now, and it's gonna be. It's so nice. It's orange. It's 24 frets. It's no Floyd Rose.
Billy has a hot pink charvel.
Wow.
It is unbelievably beautiful. It's his favorite guitar.
The only hot pink guitar I would probably buy is if they ever released the one that Paul Gilbert used to play when he played in Racer X. If they ever released an Ibanez that was like, a retro model, but it would probably end up being like $3,500.
Doesn't your Paul Gilbert have pink knobs?
Yeah, and pink F-holes too.
Right.
And pink pickups too.
Yeah, I thought so.
And it's an original.
Yeah. But it's a signature series.
Yep.
I don't like signature series. I want my own.
I'm done with them. That was a part of my life that it's okay though.
Well, you only have 3 signature series guitars, right? You have Petrucci, Gilbert, and
my Gem.
And your Gem.
Yep.
I bought the Gem for you. Well, I didn't buy it for you. Don't get excited.
I was like, wow, you owe me money.
And a lot of money that was.
You owe me restitution.
Didn't I pick up the guitar from Sam Ash?
Yep.
Oh, I also did the 7-string.
Yeah, which I like that guitar. I can't give it up.
They have those...
iron label. Yeah.
Those angled frets.
Yep.
They're starting to make basses like that. I'm not into that.
How would you know? You played one?
No, but is it really matter?
Comfort. It's for comfort.
Really?
Yeah.
But I'm not uncomfortable
hand position.
But I'm not uncomfortable playing mine. Why all of a sudden?
I know. Well,
is it for the millennials that they're making these basses, these instruments now comfortable?
Careful.
Come on.
Moving on.
Listen, you brought up an interesting question before. Ben from Wisconsin wrote in, and I'll let you read it. So why don't you read the question from Ben? I'm sure he would like to know our answer.
Thanks for writing in, Ben. Keep warm there in Wisconsin. I'm sure it's frigid.
I wonder if he's a cheesehead.
Doesn't really matter right now.
No, it was a bad year, I guess.
Yeah. It can't be much worse than being a Bear fan. What constitutes a great or classic song? The amount of airplay or the song itself? What do you got for me? Good question, Ben.
Can you read that again? That's actually a very profound question, and I'm eating a Ricola candy to try and help me get through this. But
it's not like candy. It's more like a cough drop. What constitutes...
See, now you know why I don't sing in the shower.
Thank God.
That's loud, huh? That paper is loud. I'll never forget when I was listening to Boomer and Carton, unbelievable. When they went to FM, their microphones, their studio, I guess the sound, because they weren't no longer on AM radio, they went to FM. You could actually hear them take a deep breath in through their nose. Like, that's how sensitive the microphones were. It's pretty disturbing. And Carton even said this is like very weird.
And you like all that setting stuff.
I am a special settings guy.
You are.
So read the question to me because I kind of have to absorb that.
All right, Ben. Here we go. Dom, Ben. What constitutes a great or classic song? The amount of airplay, like basically drilling it into your head, I'm guessing, or the song itself, the greatness of the song itself.
So airplay, I'm going to write this down. Airplay.
Or the actual, how great the song is.
Itself.
Right.
And then what's the first part of it? What constitutes a great song?
Or classic. Great or classic song, right. So I guess you take like Piano Man or like, you know.
All right, so great, classic, airplay, song itself. When do you need the answer? Can I let you know next week?
Probably by next year.
Because it's, well, that's actually almost a whole year away. Because that's a really good question. So great, classic song, airplay. I would say the song itself. That to me is a great classic song. But let me ask you a question, though. With the question, I'm going to answer this with a question, and I'm talking with my hands. If it's a great song, like Piano Man, won't it become a classic because of the airplay that it gets, because it's a great song, because of the song itself? So can't it all be because of all of the above?
So take a song like Hey Now, You're an All-Star, Get Your Game On. Okay?
By Smash Mouth?
Okay.
That was your wedding song, wasn't it? Wait, no, there was the Spotlight Dance, I think, right? After the cake?
Bro, I walked into
Welcome to the
the
Jungle.
beginning of
Metropolis
by Dream Theater.
Yeah, I know, because I remember the DJ was told, who was a friend of mine, Dom, make sure he plays Metropolis, and your wife allowed that. Although I DJ'd parties where I actually played Welcome to the Jungle and people walked into that.
Let me tell you something. He didn't play Dance the Night Away though when my bridal party walked in. But we won't go on. I'm still going on about that 20 years later, but it's all right. So take that
20 years?
Almost, yeah. So take that song one more year. Take that song that I just mentioned.
God bless your wife. Hey Now, You're an All-Star.
Right. Okay. That song is to some people a classic because it was drilled into your head on the radio.
Because of the airplay.
Right. Okay. Now, I wouldn't consider that a classic song, but I'm sure younger people who grew up listening to that song and watching and loving Shrek, wasn't it a Shrek song?
It was.
Okay. Love it. And be like, oh, that song is classic, and it's still played a lot.
It's classic because it's old now. That's the thing. It's not.
But people will say it's a great song.
It's a great song to those people.
Yeah, but it's not a great song.
It's not a great song. No,
it's terrible song.
It's not even it's not a Piano Man.
Right. Or a Stairway to Heaven.
Those are classics. Those are classics. It's classic.
Right.
I think when you say it's a classic song, it means it's old. When you say it's part of the classics, and you actually pluralize that, you're now putting that in with the greats.
But you have to also realize too, like here's the thing. Here's one of my big peeves about this situation. When you have a classic rock station who choose to play Billy Joel, right? Now, to me, I'm a huge Billy Joel fan, so it's hard to include myself in this, but he has so many great songs. Are any of those songs just as good as Piano Man? In my opinion,
No.
Yes.
Every song is the same as...
Not every. I'm not saying every single one of his songs, but he has some other songs that are great, but have been played less. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant is just as good as Piano Man.
No, it's not.
Sorry. I think it is, and I love Billy Joel.
I don't think it's the same.
There's a lot of...
It's not a distant second, but it's not the same as Piano Man.
Because it's been drilled into your head.
That's a fun anthem party song.
Not really. That's an actual song that tells a story too.
I'm not saying it does.
Of a couple.
Yeah.
And their life.
Linda and Eddie.
It's Brenda.
Oh, Brenda. That's right. Sorry.
So we're done with this conversation. You just screwed it. You're out. You are out. You're out. That's
right,
it.
Brenda and Eddie. Sorry, I wasn't singing it. It's been a while since I heard that song, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm tired of that song.
Which song?
Brenda and Eddie. Italian Scenes from Italian.
You're tired of that, but not tired of Piano Man.
I'm not tired of Piano Man.
And there's another thing.
What?
And that's why I did that. Because
so you're trying to make me look bad?
No. I'm trying to twist this a little bit. A classic song you never get tired of. No matter how many times are you tired of Stairway to Heaven?
No.
Because I'm not.
No.
I'm not. And are you tired of Tom Sawyer?
No.
Because every time I listen to the album that Tom Sawyer's on, which is Moving Pictures, I listen to it. I don't skip it.
How could you?
Right. Some people I have more casual music fans who like music a lot, but I would consider them more on the casual side. Can't listen to songs from Pearl Jam's 10 anymore or Alice in Chains' Dirt anymore because during that time of their life they were listening to a lot of K-Rock. Whatever
105.5 WDHA.
92.3. What was that? I don't remember. Was it K-Rock?
That was K-Rock, I think.
92.3.
That was Howard
Whatever
Stern. That was Howard Stern's station.
He listened to a lot of that station, and that's all they would play. So
that's because that was what the time was.
Right, but me, I can put 10 on right now and listen to
all
10 tracks.
All right, take yourself out of the equation. You're different.
Well, we have to. Well, right.
You're
but
odd.
I get it too. But see, those songs were drilled into your head. Black by Pearl Jam.
But so was Piano Man.
Exactly.
But that's a classic song to you that you won't get bored of.
Right. I think Black by Pearl Jam is classic.
It is classic, but I think at this point, Brenda and
Jeremy
Eddie,
is classic.
Brenda and Eddie, I don't want to hear about them anymore.
I love hearing about them.
That's fine. You could play them, and it's a classic song, and it's a great song. I'm tired of it though right now.
Right.
So what the heck was the question again?
What constitutes a great or classic song?
I don't know.
Right. The song itself or the amount of airplay it gets?
I say the song itself because I think you decide what's classic.
Well, obviously.
Because the subject is moot. But Hey Now You're an All-Star is a classic to a person who liked Shrek, I guess. But
or who listened to a lot of radio at that time.
Who listens to Smash Mouth. But you know what?
I wouldn't even say Smash Mouth. Who listened to radio at that time, and they've heard it so much that they grew to either love it. You're going to get that crowd who loves it and considers it a classic song, or the crowd like that I'm in who never wants to hear Enter Sandman.
Okay, let me ask you a question, though. After the 90s, which is probably your last greatest decade, and again, it really wasn't the greatest decade, but
I know what you're saying. Music, the way music was perceived and dealt with and promoted.
And where is it now? I mean, how many great bands are going to be around? We talk about this all the time.
It's not happening.
Okay, so how many classics are really going to come after the 90s?
There's no many more classics.
Exactly, my point. So
Adele, possibly.
Different story. We're talking about like rock.
But I'm not even sure, man. I hope so for her sake because she's tremendously talented and her songs are great.
Okay, so Michael Jackson has how many great records?
In my opinion?
Yeah.
2.
Okay. Think about how good he was. And I even said this to somebody not too long ago. Where would music be? And really it would be in the same place because Michael hasn't done anything.
Well, but I think what he did was he set the standard for what pop became.
No, what I'm saying is he hasn't done anything after Thriller besides Bad. And then he had Dangerous, and then I don't even know if there was anything after that. Those, to me, weren't really albums. Bad was better than all the ones that followed it, but not as good as all the ones that were before it.
Right.
Okay, so and you have Whitney Houston, basically all the people
Madonna.
all the artists that recently just passed away.
Oh, okay.
Prince.
But is Madonna really still relevant?
No, not
it's
at all.
Almost like she's.
Where has she been relevant for the last 20 years?
No.
So, but where would music be? It would probably be in the same place, only because these guys have not been these artists. I don't say guys, but these artists have not been putting out albums.
But it's also. But think about this too. Here's another thing. If a U2 album that just came out recently, within the last 10 years, right, came out in the 80s, would there be classic songs from that album because of the way music was dealt with at the time, the way albums and songs were promoted? Would they have spawned classic songs because things were different? This is a question that there may really be no real answer for, and that could spawn off into other questions.
Well, I don't think radio play. I think it would just say the song itself. I don't think radio play dictates whether the song. I mean, put it this way: why would you not put it on the air if you knew it was going to be a classic song? Although you don't think the first day Stairway to Heaven's being played, you're not going to say, "Oh, this is going to be a classic."
Popular radio changed the way people perceive music.
Absolutely.
Okay, and it dictated the way people perceive music. People, casual music fans who just have the radio on for background and think that rock is dead or music is dead, have no idea.
Nope.
They just don't want to do the homework.
No.
That's what it comes down to. Okay. Will there ever be another classic rock band? Probably not, because we won't let there be one, and the industry has crushed itself. So, it's just not going to happen. It's all rock and the rock scene, the metal scene is kind of underground. or we just basically just keep worshiping the same 3 or 4 bands like Green Day and Foo Fighters and Jack White and all this stuff, in and around. Even bands like Alter Bridge, as great as they are, they're not going to sell at the Garden.
No,
they're not. You know,
they won't.
And they have more mass appeal because a fan who likes metal may like them because they have a little bit of a heavier edge. And you have a rock and roll fan who likes just their rock a little bit lighter will like them too because Miles Kennedy could handle the mic, obviously.
The whole band.
Right. So
Tremonti.
Right.
I mean.
But then you have your closed-minded fans who, because he's involved with Creed, people who hate Creed don't want anything to do with him. I'm sure there's people.
Creed, but but their sound. Just take don't tell them that fact. When I tell people that
I
fact,
wouldn't.
Exactly, because I got burned a couple of times because when I do tell people that fact, they're like, "Oh, I hate Creed."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, what's wrong with you? I mean, yeah, all right.
There are people. You're not going to get that too much, but there are people out there that may do that.
Well, I think it's a very interesting question. I just don't know if you're going to have an answer.
It's probably something we can go on and on and on about, and just keep finding another door to open within this question. I guarantee you.
It's a good question, though. I still say it's the song
Ben.
itself. Absolutely. Ben from Wisconsin. It's still cold out there. It was only about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's probably very cold. So I have a topic I want to talk about, too.
Okay.
What is your opinion?
Go ahead.
When people complain that a band kind of gets stuck within a sound.
Okay.
And they complain that they're like on autopilot.
Right.
What do you think about that statement?
On autopilot.
Like, a band that has 3, 4, 5, maybe more albums out, and they kind of stay within a specific sound.
So they're staying with what I guess kept them popular and
just what
kept them
what's defined them. What's defined them? Yeah, the sound that defined them, or whatever style of music that they're playing, and they stay within that sound.
What's the matter with that? I don't have a problem with that. I don't want them to change.
Right. I don't get it. Yeah,
I don't want them to change.
I don't get it either. And I've heard multiple people complain about different bands in different genres. Oh yeah, they kind of sound like they're on autopilot at this point, or they really didn't add anything new or nothing new to their sound. It's it's not much different from the last album or whatever the case is. And I'm like, what do you want from a band who's already established? Do you want them to make an album that's so far right from what they do that they don't sound, that they lose their fan base? And I know it's a risk, but
I would say yes, it is a risk. I mean, many bands did risk that. I mean, you can give you said it before, tons of examples on how many bands risked it and lost.
Right.
And I would say, why would you want to do that?
Well, I mean, U2 did it, but they made it. I think one of the reasons they made it, Bob, is because they changed their sound, but you couldn't deny how great the songs were.
Right.
So the songs were there. So
Metallica did it.
Metallica did it, yeah, and they catapulted into a different stratosphere of popularity and success.
And they probably was going to say they benefited from it.
Right. And then actually they couldn't even, after the Black Album, the rest of their career is mediocre at best.
I like change in certain aspects because music has done that, where many bands have changed over the years and not for the better. How many bands changed for the better? None. Except, and I wouldn't call Creed a band that changed for the better, because I'm talking about Alter Bridge.
Right. Well, Scott Stapp wasn't there, so the band,
But I don't want them to change. I want them to stay the way they are and just keep putting out the same music, because once they change, you're never going to get them back.
Right. We won't dive into all the bands that changed and either kept their success or completely lost their fan base. But it's a little gripe that I have when people go on about that, because it's like, what do you want? If you're a fan of a band, you kind of want them to still sound like that band.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't want every song to sound the same, but if you're a fan, you're not going to care. You're not.
Right.
You're not.
So, Mike, now that we're in a new year, what are you looking forward to besides Dream Theater February 22nd?
That's not fair, man.
Oh, sorry.
That's not fair, dude. That's number one.
Why? Were you going to take the next 10 minutes to talk about?
Next 10 minutes, I could probably.
All right. Let me start over then. Okay.
No, it's all right.
No. I'm going to start over. So, Mike, we're now that we're in 2019, what are you looking forward to besides Dream Theater? Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to say that.
I don't have many hopes for the new releases this year. Not too many of my bands are coming out with records.
All right, so forget I said that. So just tell me what.
Well, let's just get it out of the way. Listen, February 22nd.
What? Dream
it's
Theater?
A special date.
Why is Dream
There's
Theater?
a little band called Dream Theater coming out with a new album.
Really?
And after the last record, which I do not hate.
Wait, hang on one second. Wake me up when you're done.
After the last record, which I do not hate, even though
Cramp.
I'm sure there's plenty of fans out there that would dispute it, but not true fans. We're back to Dream Theater being Dream Theater. So I'm really...
Wait, Portnoy's back?
No, very funny.
Oh.
Charlie Dominici's back on vocals. I am really, really psyched for the new record. I only heard this single quickly once, and I loved it, of course, obviously, but I'm not listening to it again.
Why? Because you don't have 45 minutes to listen to it?
No.
How long was that single?
Actually, the album is short, which kind of disappoints me. It's going to be under probably 60 minutes.
You see, now the first thing I look for in a Dream Theater album is how long. What's my question to you every time they put out an album?
How long is it? Yeah.
How long is the album? Oh, it's like 76 minutes. I'm like, good.
That's what I like too. But unfortunately, they decided to streamline a little bit. I think after the Astonishment, they felt let's bring it back a little bit.
That's real.
Images and Words, because that's how Images and Words wasn't that long.
No,
if you look at it,
it wasn't long. Neither was Awake. Longer than Images and Words.
No, Awake was almost 80 minutes, dude.
Was
you
it?
don't realize it because there's a lot of songs on Awake.
Well, Space Divest.
Please, all right, let's go.
I love that song.
I like it too, but
no, you don't like it like I do.
No, definitely not.
I love that song.
Definitely not. I'm hopeful for New Symphony X. Very hopeful.
Is that guy still playing in Guitar Center? Is he still there?
No. Actually, Michael Romeo's solo album that just came out in 2018 was no, that was Mike Pinella, the keyboard player. Hopefully, a new Gojira. I'm hopeful for. I know it's a little bit too heavy for you. 3/4 of Dokken are together under a new band without Don Dokken, and it's George Lynch, Jeff Pilson, and Mick Brown have their own band, which I believe.
So Esposito's not there?
That was Lynch Mob.
Oh, okay.
And I believe Rob Mason, who sang on one of my favorite Lynch Mob albums. I like the two of them are great. He's singing with them, so I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping for a new Opeth this year too, studio Opeth, because the live album came out last year. And there's an instrumental artist called Star Systems who I love. I'm hoping he comes out with something new. I mean, listen, I can go on and on with my hopes of what's coming out. Neil Morse band is come with Mike Portnoy is coming. That's coming out in 2 weeks, 25th of January. New Evergrace coming out, which I'm looking forward to. But the Neil Morse is going to be big before the Dream Theater, and then sooner than later, the calendar will just unfold with releases, which I'm going to try to keep on top of each podcast as we get down into the new year. Right now, the calendar's a little sparse. It doesn't have too much. Devin Townsend, his new album's coming out, which I'm super excited for too. And the last thing I'll say that I'm about to explode about for this new year that's not music related is the final season of the greatest show ever created, Game of Thrones. And everybody out there who knows what I'm talking about. They don't. You may not, because you never give the show a chance. But
no, and I'll tell you what's wrong with the show, and this is the
nothing.
thing. No,
the answer is nothing.
No, there is nothing wrong with the show. No, absolutely not. It's me. It's not you. It's me.
Yeah.
All right, George Costanza. But
I invented
Art Vandelay. The show itself, when I watched it, the problem was I turned it on. It was like almost 10 o'clock at night. I was exhausted.
Bad.
And
yeah, it's bad time to watch that show.
The TV I was watching on was freezing up. I guess my connection to the internet.
Also not good.
So I just wasn't into it. Wasn't with it. I tried watching it again the next night. Fell asleep again. I'm watching them at 9, 10 o'clock at night. Can't do that.
Try watching it when you're awake and put subtitles on. It helps you to follow the story easier.
Right, and that's the other thing too, because I'm listening to it. I got to keep it low. The kids are in bed, so I just wasn't. And I figured, you know what? That's the type of show. Obviously, with modern technology, Netflix, you're able to binge watch. I don't want to rush my life away. And when these weekly shows come on, I'm sitting there saying, "Oh, I can't wait for next Friday. I can't wait for next Sunday." And before you know it, I'm rushing the week.
That's what makes it good to watch it now, because you could watch seasons 1. You could
1 through 7,
all the seasons, and then by the time you're finished, the new season will be on.
Which is
and
8, right? Or is it 9?
8. You'll be really jacked for it, because you'll be so ensconced in the ensconced in velvet, ensconced in the storyline that you're going to be busting like all of us, every single Game of Thrones fan is for this new season. Unfortunately, it's the final, but I'm hoping it's a doozy.
I'll tell you what's great about Game of Thrones is their soundtrack.
I have it.
There's 8 seasons. There's 7
well,
seasons.
The last one they released, I actually got it.
I have 6 on disc, and I think a couple of the other ones are just either downloads or with Apple Music and stuff like that. But
and it's not my section of soundtracks in my collection is very, very tiny.
Oh, I could listen to instrumentals all day, and that is probably, I have to say, very well put together.
Yeah,
the music is tremendous on that album.
He actually did a concert. They did a concert of music of Game of Thrones.
When?
Last summer, maybe.
Oh,
I forget where it was too.
And you didn't tell me.
I didn't know you cared about because you didn't watch the show. I didn't know you cared about the music.
You know I love scores.
I know like scores, but I didn't think because you didn't watch the show.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I see it or not. In fact, that's probably the only reason why I am interested in the show. I will one day watch it, but so that's your prediction for 2019. Let me ask you a quick question before you get on with the artist of the podcast. How do you think Dokken is going to sound with 3/4 of them back? Are they going to be putting?
Well, it's not Dokken.
I'm sorry.
It's going to be a different name.
But I understand that. How do you think it's going to sound?
Great. It's not going to sound like Dokken. Trust me, it's not at all.
No,
because it's not even going to sound like Lynch Mob either, like old Lynch Mob.
That's all good stuff, though.
Oh, it's great. Lynch is he's a prolific songwriter. If you like that style, anything Lynch has done. Lynch just did a project with Corey Glover from Living Color, which is called Ultraphonics, which is fantastic.
It's a great show. Jennifer Lopez came from that show.
Stop.
Oh.
Enough is enough. And another, actually, I should have brought them up too. I didn't have the big enough list.
Living Color?
They were a tremendous, underrated, and
Cult of Personality.
The whole album. That whole album was great. I hate when people just mention that one song.
I'm so sorry. It won't happen again.
Thank you. Anything he's involved in so many projects, and he's such a good songwriter. And again, people may say it's all kind of the same, but when it's good, it's good.
Absolutely.
You can't argue with good.
No.
So I think it's going to sound good. Very good. Especially Pilson's a great songwriter too, because Pilson was behind a lot of the songs that were written when in those great Dokken days. Let
me know when it comes out.
I will let everyone know when it comes out. I believe it's the end of March. I don't have a date again because the release calendar doesn't go that deep just yet because we're still fresh in the new year. But once I get a beat, probably by next month, I'll have a beat on the next few months of releases, and I'll start rolling off a monthly little segment.
All right then.
Of some key releases.
We all look forward to it.
I hope so.
All right. Before we wrap it up, give us an AOP.
My artist of the podcast is none other.
Wait a minute. Is it instrumental?
It is. Well, I went last. The last one, didn't do one. I got to do one now, especially that I love this band. They used to be called Mammoth, but they
remember them.
Just recently changed their name to Thrakill, which is the guitar player's last name. So it's THRAIKILL. And the
Spell that again? Wait, how about a little slower? THRAIKILL.
And the album is called Everything That Is You. I believe you can still find them under Mammoth Prague Bandcamp. And the new album came out at the very tail end of the year in December. And I had actually donated money through, I think, Patreon because I was excited to hear. And it's fantastic.
Is it?
Instrumental, trio. If you like Mammoth, it's very similar to their other stuff. But I think he's becoming a better songwriter as albums go on. Not that I had a problem with the earlier stuff, anything that he's ever written. Because he's one of my favorite guitar players and my favorite underrated underground bands was Mammoth prior to the name change.
Why did they change the name?
I don't know if it was a lineup change that happened or he just felt like maybe that's because Mammoth has been used. I think that wasn't originally Van Halen's name back in the 70s. I guess he figured Mammoth is just such a streamlined name within rock or something that
was it his or was it Hagar's?
No, that was Van Halen.
That was Van Halen, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, what was Hagar's before?
Hagar was in Montrose. And then he was with Hagar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's Wes Thrakill on guitars, Yas Nomura on drums, and Lang Zhao Yas Nomura on bass and Lang Zhao on drums. I love trios. You know, check it out. It's if you like instrumental music, if you're a guitar player, if you're a bass player, if you're a drummer,
I like omnific.
It's all there.
I like omnific because I'm a bass player.
Well, it's 2 bass players and a drummer.
Right. I wouldn't call
It's
myself
cool,
a
though.
bass-
It's cool.
Yeah. I'll definitely 3 kill.
Yep. Good stuff. Everything that is you just came out, new release. Support them. They need your support because they deserve your support because they're great if you like instrumental or guitar playing or good bass or drum playing also. I don't know.
Well, we'll definitely take a listen.
Please.
Well, time to wrap this one up. We want to hear from you, so write in your opinion, topics, comments you want us to talk about to thesubjectismoot@yahoo.com, and we will bring them up during future shows. You can follow us on Twitter at TSIM_podcast, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. In the search bar, just type in The Subject Is Moot or Dom Mike, and you'll find us. For now, I am Dom, and across from me is
Mike, and we are out.